Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a research video. That means I went and looked up items on eBay that sold for big money. And this research video is going to be not on one particular type of item, but it's going to be one style, and that is mid-century modern, something I myself love to find and sell, and these are going to blow your mind. All of these sales are over $1,000. There is furniture, there is sculptures, there is pottery. There is a lot of good stuff in this video, so let's get started. Alright, so this video was super fun to research, and I am really excited to share it with you. This is more about style than it is a particular item, but I wanted to open up your eyes to what is mid-century modern. So first up is a mid-century modern Roseville Raymore fruit basket avocado. This is a green bin Cybele design. This one sold for $1,095. Here it is up close. Beautiful, beautiful design on that basket. I have never seen a Roseville piece like this. Probably pretty rare, and probably why it sold for so high. And here on the bottom, you can see that it is clearly marked. Up next is a really, really cool bird sculpture, and again sold for over $1,000. This is a Bitosi Rimini blue Aldo Londi bird, mid-century pottery, Italy, black legs and feet. This one sold for $1,200. Here on the bottom you can see there is a sticker. It does have BIT. I'm gonna assume that stands for Bitosi, and this was sold in Raymore, it looks like, and that is a great pottery sale at $1,200. Is some wood, and this is a serving bowl, and it is really cool. Just look at the aspects of this, look at the style of it, and try to keep an eye out for that mid-century stuff. This is a vintage Emile Milan mid-century modern sculptural salad bowl. This is a butternut wood. You can see it's a serving bowl, spoons, as well as small bowls. And here on the bottom, you can see it is clearly signed Emile Milan, and you would be able to identify it. Up next is a tapestry. It is like a hook latch rug. It is really, really cool, and there are actually a couple of pieces by this designer in this video, so make sure you remember what this looks like. This is a Evelyn Ackerman mid-century modern hand-hooked tapestry rug skip rope. This one is sold for $1,295. So it is a child skipping rope. Here up close, you can see where her initials are. She signs Emily Ackerman to it. And here is another up close of that actual rug design. And that one was a great sale, coming in at almost $1,300. Up next is some wall art. And I know some of these things are big. Some of them might be scary to ship. I'll talk a little bit about the furniture once we get to that. This next one wouldn't be as difficult as furniture to ship. It would just take a big box, and it is some wood plaque wall decor. So this is a Studio Ransu mid-century modern 4 handcrafted New York panels. This sold for $1,200. Here on the bottom, you can see it is signed Ransu. And then on the back here, you can see on the paper, it does say Ransu. Each piece is individually crafted, and it is titled Merrick, New York. This next one is some elephant furniture. So I'm getting into the furniture a little quicker than I would have wanted. I will tell you, you can use U-Ship. I do have a video on that. You also can use Greyhound to ship these items. There are multiple ways to ship furniture. If they are selling this high, I would try and find a way to ship them if I found more. I have not been looking for furniture because with the gas prices, unfortunately shipping is about double. So you really would need to find some high dollar value pieces that people people would be willing to pay that extra freight on, but it definitely can be done. So this is a really cool elephant footrest and table. This is a vintage Dimitri Omrsa leather elephant and rhinoceros. It is a footstool and a table. Here they are up close. Really, really neat pieces. And here on the top of the elephant, you can actually see it says Abercrombie and Fitch, made in England. So I'm not sure how that designer figured out who the designer was. Perhaps they used Google Lens, or it might have been listed on Abercrombie and Fitch site. That was a great sale at over $1,300. Next is something I really never saw myself putting in a research video, but here it is. And there were several of them that sold this high. It's a toilet. It's a toilet. This is a vintage mid-century jadeite. I think they meant mint green. They put mint green. Mint green porcelain toilet. It does say they ship. It sold for $1,195. You know, the jadeite is hot, and apparently it's even hot in toilets. Here it is showing that it does come apart. So as far as that seller shipping, they probably could ship this in 3 separate boxes, and an incredible sale at $1,200. Up next is a Pyrex, an individual Pyrex that sold for almost $1,500. This is a Pyrex turquoise blue 2-quart casserole and warmer, UFO Sputnik Atomic rare find. So the big thing with this Pyrex is definitely that mid-century warmer piece, and there are multiples of these that have sold. It looks like most of them sell for $800 to $900, some closer to $1,000, but they are very, very rare. So if you see one that looks like this, definitely pick it up. And it was a great sale at $1,500. Next is a TV, and it's a really cool TV. I think this would be an excellent decor piece, but in the title it says this TV actually works. This is a Philco Predicta TV, mid-century modern. Television works and looks great. It sold for $1,375. Here you can see on the TV, it does say Philco Predicta, and then here is another picture of the bottom of the TV where the knob, which also says Philco. Now this one was an auction, got 23 bids to sell for that $1,375. I also want to point out the shipping on this was $180, so people will pay to have this stuff shipped. Up next is a really cool owl sculpture, and this artist came up multiple times when I was doing this research. I think I might have put 1 or 2 of his pieces, but definitely look for items that look like this and look for that signature. This is a mid-century modern original Curtis Share large owl sculpture, signed 1969. This one sold for $1,500. Here you can see how cool the eyes are up close, and just amazing, amazing brass sculpture. And here on the bottom of the box, you can see it is signed Curtis Share. Up next is a Lisa Larson piece. Definitely keep an eye out for Lisa Larson. This one went for so high because it was an extra large version. The smaller versions only sell for a couple $100, so please keep that in mind. And this was a great sale. This is a Lisa Larson maxi extra large lion. It sold for $1,500, and here you can see the different sizes the seller showed, and this one is quite a bit bigger than the majority of them, and this one sold for great money. This next one is really cool. It is glass. It has Bullacante in this sculpture, and it is a fox. So this is a Volpe's Red Fox Klaus Hapanini art glass design, Finland. This was 351 of 1,000 pieces. This one sold for $1,550. Here is that little fox so you can see the whole thing. Super, super cute. Here on the tail, you can see it is clearly signed. It is numbered. And this one actually had the original sticker. And in that tail, you can see that Bullacante in the glass. This next one is something I think a lot of people could possibly look over, and I know they are out there because we have found some of them in my live sourcing for my paid membership. When I look for stuff in Your Zip Code Live, we have found some of these sculptures and they sell for big money. This is a Curtis Jair, so another Jair, 1981 Starburst brass signed wall sculpture, mid-century modern star. This one sold for $1,650. Here it is up close, showing it hanging on the wall. Absolutely beautiful. This close-up picture shows you that it is signed C. Jair. And then here's another just showing the great 3D of this wall hanging. This next one is a really cool Holt Howard piece. If you do not know, watch for Holt Howard. Most pieces are not going to sell this high, but there are quite a few that will sell for over $500. So definitely keep your eye out for Holt Howard. This one is a Holt Howard mid-century modern Happy King decanter with 4 shot glasses. This one sold for $1,726. Here you can see laid out those 4 shot glasses that match the decanter. And I did want to show you here on the bottom, they are clearly marked 1960 Holt Howard. Keep an eye out for those. And this one was an auction, got 20 bids to sell for that $1,726. Up next is Herman Miller. If you do not know, Herman Miller makes some of the most expensive mid-century modern furniture. So Herman Miller might be something you want to research on its own just to get familiar with what these pieces look like. I do not see that these were marked anywhere, but this was a great sale and I definitely wanted to throw the name Herman Miller out there because it's one you should know. This is a Herman Miller George Nelson can lamp, 2 comprehensive. This one sold for $1,749. Here I just wanted to show you these lamps are designed to hang on the wall. They have plugs, and again, I did not see where that was marked. Next is something I personally have found quite a bit of. I like finding, I like selling, and I just think it looks cool. I don't think I could ever use any in my personal home or design with it, but I definitely appreciate the look. This is a mid-century modern brass ram's head. This is for a coffee table. This one sold for $1,600. Here up close you can see the ram's head, and I wanted to show you here where you can see it does have the little plastic rings on the top so someone could sit a glass table on it. Next is something I probably could do a research video of on its own. Maybe I will. Not sure. I have never sold any. This next one is a chessboard. This is a vintage mid-century modern 1962 Austin Enterprises aluminum chess set with the case and the board. This one sold for $1,800. Here you can see on the box, it clearly is marked designed and crafted by Austin Cox. So you would be able to identify it as long as it had that box. Up next is something that looks pretty simple. It is 2 lamps. And again, some of this stuff is really big, but it is not that hard to ship. You just need to make sure you have the right box. Use a lot of bubble wrap. If it's expensive, I would use Instapak from American Bubble Boy, but you can do it. You can do it. If you find these, I would not leave them behind. These are 2 60s Cobra table desk lamps from Elio Martinelli. Mid-century lamp, space age. These sold for $1,890 for the pair. Here on the bottom, you can see they were clearly marked Martinelli Luce and made in Italy. Next up, we have another Roseville piece. So there are some Rosevilles that can be extremely expensive depending on how rare and in demand they are. Keep in mind there are a lot of Roseville that do not sell for much, that were mass produced and are not going to be nearly as valuable as this. This is a Roseville Apple Blossom 1949 Pottery Blue Chardonnay and Pedestal. This one sold for $1,795.50. Here on the bottom, you can see it is clearly marked Roseville, USA, 306, 10 inches. And that was a great sale at $1,795. All right, We have got some pottery coming in really, really high. Again, I recommend with any pottery that you always see if you can read who that maker is and look them up, because you might be surprised at something that looks simple. Because of who it was designed by, it is worth quite a bit. This is a masterful Herman Mcintosh footed pottery bowl, excellent glaze and fine carving. This one sold for $1,895. Here you can see it up close. This seller did a great job with having other pieces in the background that complement it. And here on the bottom, you can see it is marked with a HM for Herman Mcintosh, and this one still had the original sticker. I am going to interrupt right here. I'm actually sitting on the couch editing this video that you're watching, and I want to personally invite you to come and watch me in a thrift battle with Yvonne Thrifty Rich here in about 30 minutes at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Primetime Treasure Hunter channel. I will put a link in the premiere for those of you that are watching. And if you come in later, please come join us. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yvonne and I are battling it out for who has the best thrift battle items. So come and support me, hang out, and we are going to have a great time. So I look forward to seeing you all. We'll get back to the video now. We have some crazy things coming up. This next one's pretty cool because it was an unknown artist and it still sold for almost $2,000. This is a vintage bronze metal sculpture, abstract, mid-century modern. You can see they put mystery artist. This one sold for $1,950. Here up close, you can see the awesome patina on that, and that was just an amazing bronze sculpture. And then we have another piece of pottery that is a vase that, again, sold for almost $2,000. This is a Natzler pottery bottle or vase, mid-century modern with cat's eye glaze. This one sold for $1,950. Here on the bottom, you can see it is clearly marked Natzler. So if you found one of these, you would be able to identify it. Next is a pair of lamps that I would hate to ship, but if they sold for $2,000, I would definitely figure out how to ship them. These are amazing. This is a mid-century modern pair of regular of California chalkware table lamps, sea green. They sold for $1,999. Here you can see up close, this is the male mermaid, and then here is the female mermaid. And I did want to show you on the bottom of these lamps, they are clearly marked regular of California. More lamps, same thing. I've shipped lamps. I've shipped several lamps. Most of mine did sell for good money. Not this much money. I haven't found any of these, but definitely keep an eye out for mid-century modern lamps and look to see if they're signed. This is another pair that sold for almost $2,000. This is Jane and Gordon Martz. This is a pair of lamps with a matte glaze. This one is incised with ceramic and walnut wood. This one sold for $1,995. Here on the back of the lamp, you can see it is clearly signed Martz. All right, we are gonna get into some furniture. Again, I didn't put a ton in, but there is a ton of mid-century modern furniture that sells for thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you see some, I would look to see if it is signed first on the underside of it. If it is not, I would try and use Google Lens to identify it. This next one is a chair. This is a mid-century modern Harry Bertoya Knoll bird ottoman, blue and black base. This set with the chair and the ottoman sold for $1,998.98. Here they are up close. Really kind of plain, classic, indefinite mid-century modern design. Right, next is an old Magnavox table. Again, this is something I think makes really cool decor as well as being functional. This is a vintage 50s or 60s Magnavox tube record player, mid-century modern. This one was restored, and it says restored by Jimmy O. That person might be very well known for doing good restoration. This one sold for $2,000. Here you can see it sitting in the living room. Really cool. This definitely is a big piece that would need freight. And here up close on it, you can see the Magnavox sign. All right, another Herman Miller piece. This one is pretty simple, streamlined, classic, and it sold for over $2,000. This is a George Nelson for Herman Miller Action Office Roll Top Desk, mid-century modern. It sold for $1,750. Here you can see with the roll top rolled back. Very, very pretty plain and simple, and that was a great sale at $1,750. All right, every time I do one of these videos, I learn something, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. This is a Russell Wright piece that sold for insane money. I love Russell Wright. I just sold a Russell Wright pair with tablecloth, but some Russell Wright is worth a lot of money. It's definitely a name that you need to know. This is a rare Russell Wright for Clyde's 1935 Oceana Maple Wood Wave Salad Bowl. This salad bowl sold for $2,000. Here it is up close. You can see beautiful, beautiful design. And I did want to show you here on the bottom, it does have that Oceana sticker as well as Russell Wright being burned into the bottom. All right, next is a really, really cool glass sculpture. So this is a Murano glass Alexandrite sculpture, Lucio Zanetti. This one is signed. It was from 1994, sold for $1,960. I did want to show you here on the base. You can clearly see it is very, very well marked and signed. And then here you can see they do have a signature as well as the stamp from Zanetti, and it is signed. And then here up close you can see how beautifully it is displayed, as well as the authenticity certificate. All right, it has started pouring down rain here, so if you hear the rain in the background, it is the rain on my shed roof. So this next piece, I never would have thought it would sell for as much as it did, and you will see why when you see it. This is a Betty Woodman Pottery Charger 1975 glazed earthenware. This one sold for $1,995. Here you can see it laid out. This is just very, very simple, but here on the end you can see it is clearly stamped Woodman, so definitely remember that name. All right, this next item is actually a set of dishes. I do not recommend selling dishes in sets. It is just way too much to pack, but I wanted to show you this pattern because in my mind it is one of the top selling mid-century modern patterns, and it definitely is out there. This is a mid-century modern Franciscan atomic starburst dinnerware set. This was 77 pieces. I think the seller was crazy to ship so much, but I guess if you want to do it, go for it. This one sold for $1,999. And here up close, I wanted to show you what that Franciscan Starburst design looks like. Next is a lounge chair, and it is very, very mid-century modern. I don't see a name on it, but I wanted to show you this style of furniture because it definitely brings big money. This is a mid-century modern Italian vintage lounge chair. This is 2 of 2, so they actually sold them individually for $1,950 each. Here it is from the back, just very, very mid-century modern design. I did want to show you here, they did charge $245 in shipping. I am unaware if they use U-ship or freight or possibly put that thing in a giant box. I would think it probably went freight, but definitely would be worth it to me to pick up a $2,000 chair. Next is a womb chair, and there were a lot of these selling, again, for well over that $2,000 price point, so definitely keep an eye out. And this one has a tag, so it is marked, and you would be able to identify it if you found it. This is a Knoll womb chair designed by Eros Sarin, sold for $2,200. Here that chair is up close, and here on the bottom of the chair you can see it is clearly marked Knoll. All right, we have got another studio pottery. They say it's a vase. I really feel like this one's a bowl. I think it's kind of stretching it, calling it a vase, but you never know. This is a rare, large, mid-century modern Pottery Studio art vase by John Ward. This one sold for $2,100. Here is the bottom of the bowl. They did say it had an incised JW. I am unable to see it there in that picture. And I wanted to show you, this is only a 12-inch bowl, so it's not very big to sell for over $2,000. And then we have another hanging lamp. So watch for the lamps, watch for the chandeliers. They look like they're mid-century modern. I would definitely look into them a little bit further. This is a Paul Henningsen PH 2 of 2 Louis Polson pendant lamp from the 1930s. This one sold for $2,250. Here you can see the underside, very, very simple mid-century modern design. And I did want to show you, the seller did show it hanging up and it looks absolutely amazing. Next is another Starburst item. It is not dishes. It is a Starburst wall hanging. This is a decorative mid-century modern sunburst wall mirror, gilt metal from 1960s in France, sold for $2,250. Here I wanted to show you the side of this. This is an amazing, amazing sculpture. And I did want to show you what was in the description from the seller. It says decorative mid-century modern sunburst wall mirror, designed and manufactured probably, they are guessing, it says probably in France. Nowhere is it marked, so I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out to you. Up next is another Pyrex, and this one sold for over $2,300 for one Pyrex. This is a rare vintage turquoise Pyrex, number 475. It does have the lid. This one was an auction. It got 8 bids to get up to that $2,325. The big thing with this one is that it is solid turquoise. So there are quite a few patterned turquoises that sell for between $50 and $200, but this solid turquoise is pretty rare. This one does have the glass lid. Here you can see from the side, amazing, amazing turquoise color, and that was a great sale. Up next is another vase, and it's another signed one, and it's a name I was not familiar with. This is a blue vase, Burnt Friedberg, Gustavsberg, 1955 vase. This one sold for $2,350. Pretty simple classic vase, but here on the bottom you can see it is signed Freiberg. So that is definitely a name that you will want to remember. Next is a stool. This sold for $2,400 that was not signed. And I'm going to show you what the seller put in their description. This is a vintage mid-century French modern Charlotte Perriand Berger tripod stool. It's a stool. That is all it is. It sold for $2,400. Here in the description, it says, this is a low burger stool designed by Charlotte Perriand in ash, purchased directly from a dealer in France who purchased this piece from another antique seller. And then they also put, note, I can't authenticate this piece as Perriand did not sign her pieces. However, the dimensions and the materials as well as the provenance lead me to think this is a genuine piece. So they put all of that information that they had in there, said that they could not authenticate it because it was not signed, and it still sold for $2,400. So if you have the provenance, the history of the item, let people know if it came from an estate sale, they had other items from that maker, anything you can throw in there to kind of substantiate your claim that it is a particular maker, definitely do that. All right, we have got another tapestry, same artist. This one sold for $2,500. This is a Evelyn Ackerman vintage hanging tapestry, mid-century modern, Danish folk art. Again, sold for $2,500. Here on the bottom of the tapestry, you can see it is marked EA. And I just wanted to show you the really, really cool 3D aspect of this wall hanging. It is absolutely amazing. All right, now we've got some lamps. Again, ton of lamps are worth a ton of money, so watch for them. This is a pair of vintage mid-century modern Robert Soneman brass eyeball floor lamps. This one sold for $2,499. I did want to show you, here's the base. So they are just round brass balls, and great sale at $2,500. Another lamp, another lamp. Watch for lamps. Watch for lamps that are mid-century. They bring big dollars. This is a set of 2 vintage mid-century Danish modern Modeline cactus floor lamps. These 2 sold for $2,495. Here you can see one is smaller, and then there's also the taller one, and that was a great sale, coming in at almost $2,500. Next is another Pottery Bowl. Absolutely amazing. Another artist that I have never heard of, but I always check the pottery signatures because some of them will absolutely blow your mind. This is a Randolph Kolsch Modernist Studio Pottery Bowl, Maja Grotel Cranbook. This one sold for $2,995. And here on the bottom, you can clearly see it is very well signed Randolph Kolsch, so you would be able to identify it. All right, next is a table. Again, these things are not going to be easy to ship. You're going to have to arrange freight, or you could list them for local pickup only, should you choose to do so, but that will severely limit the market that you are selling to. This next table is really, really cool. This is a Richard Schultz Redwood Pedal Dining Table Knoll, mid-century modern. This table sold for $3,800. I did want to show you here on the underside how cool it really looks, like a tree. Absolutely amazing, and that was a great sale at $3,800. All right, I showed you a toilet earlier, right? I'm going to show you another one, but this one's actually the whole bath set. So if by any chance you buy an older home, you're remodeling, you might want to think before destroying that old toilet. This is a vintage mid-century deco coral pink bathtub set, old tub, sink standard. This one sold for $3,895. Absolutely insane. It is. I don't know how they are going to ship that. I can't even imagine, but I wanted to show you these so you would have it in mind. It was a pink toilet, a sink, and a bathtub. All right, we are up to our top 5 mid-century modern items, and all of them sold for over $4,000. This next one is a vintage mid-century modern Tommaso Barbi brass leaf floor lamp from Italy. Works. It is an original. This one sold for $4,250. Here I wanted to show you, it is absolutely beautiful stand-up lamp. Here on the bottom you can see it is just a plain black brass ring on the bottom supporting it there. Does have some scuffs on it, and again, a close-up of this beautiful, beautiful sculpted leaf, and absolutely amazing sale. $4,250 for a lamp. We got another Pottery Bowl coming in at over $4,000. This is a gorgeous Gertrude and Otto Natzler. This is another Natzler. We saw a Natzler vase earlier. This is a Pottery Bowl brown and turquoise matte lava glaze. I love the lava glaze on this. This one sold for $4,800. Here's the bottom. You can see it is clearly marked Natzler, and I wanted to show you how amazing that lava glaze is. And here is that bowl zoomed in close. This is an absolutely gorgeous piece. All right, I'm going to show you a couple more sets of dinnerware because they sold for really big money, and the individual pieces, or if you break them down into sets of 4, they would still sell very high. This is a Atomic Starburst Romance of the Stars vintage dinnerware. Watch for those Atomic Starburst. This set sold for $4,449. Here is another picture. So the seller chose to just put a picture of the creamer as the front picture. I would have used this picture showing all of the pieces, but it still sold for almost $4,500. All right, this next one is really cool. It is a set of amazing plates. This is a vintage Piero Fornasetti plate. I'm assuming they include all the plates because they do show photos here of all the plates. Sold for $4,650, but these are amazing, amazing plates. All right, the last one is a Pottery Bowl that sold for $5,000. This is a McCarty Pottery Marigold, Mississippi, 1950s gold tea bowl, 9.5 inches, pup signed, sold for $5,000. And here on the bottom of the bowl, you can see it is clearly signed McCarty. It is signed Mississippi, MISS, and a great sale at $5,000. All right, that is the end. I hope you have enjoyed this. I know I am kind of going all over the place with these research videos, but I don't want to make it repetitive. I don't want to make it boring for you or for myself. So I'm kind of jumping all over topics and different types of things that interest me and I feel might interest you, especially if you are a reseller, because it is educating you and you are learning more high dollar items. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it for you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. I hope you have a great week. I just wanted to remind you guys again, in about 5 minutes from now over on Dominic Primetime Treasure Hunter, I will be live in a thrift battle with Yvonne. So please come over and hang out with us. I look forward to it.